Today's Bible story is Cain, Abel, and the spread of sin, from Genesis 4:1 through 4:26. First, we will hear the actual verses. Then we will slow down, talk through what they mean, and break down how this passage moves the larger story forward. Here is the passage from the King James Version, Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Genesis 4:2. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Genesis 4:3. And in process of time it came to pass, that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Genesis 4:4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Genesis 4:5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Genesis 4:6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Genesis 4:8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. Genesis 4:9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Genesis 4:10. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Genesis 4:11. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Genesis 4:12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Genesis 4:13. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Genesis 4:14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass, that every one that findeth me shall slay me. Genesis 4:15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Genesis 4:16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. Genesis 4:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. Genesis 4:18. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehujael, and Mehujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. Genesis 4:19. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. Genesis 4:20. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. Genesis 4:21. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. Genesis 4:22. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Genesis 4:23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice. Ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. Genesis 4:24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. Genesis 4:25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Genesis 4:26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Now let's break down Genesis 4:1 through 4:26. This section covers Cain murders Abel, resists God's warning, is sent away under mercy and judgment, and the chapter closes with people beginning to call on the Lord. The goal is to follow the movement of the verses, notice what changes from beginning to end, and pause where the next story can begin clearly. The passage first asks us to notice this. The first family grows outside Eden, But the ache of the garden follows them into worship, work, rivalry, and choice. Then the story moves forward. Cain and Abel bring offerings, and God warns Cain that sin is crouching near him, ready to rule if he will not resist. The next movement matters. Cain kills his brother in the field, and the first death recorded in Scripture comes through human violence. As the scene continues, the tension becomes clearer. God confronts Cain, marks him, and sends him eastward, holding together justice and mercy in a broken world. By the end of this section, the passage leaves us with this. The chapter traces culture, pride, and violence, but it also ends with a fragile note of worship as people call on the Lord. What makes this passage important is the way it shows God's character, while the larger biblical story is still just beginning. We see that Scripture is not a random collection of moments. Each scene carries the story forward, revealing human need, divine purpose, judgment, mercy, promise, and worship in ways that prepare us for what comes next. This is a natural place to pause because from there, Genesis widens from one family to generations, and the world moves toward Noah. Share this with someone who loves Scripture, and subscribe as we continue through the Bible story by story.